5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all: entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome on in to another episode of Reading Between the Wines. It is Wind Down Wednesday, and I want to say thank you all for tuning in. I definitely do appreciate you. Thank you for coming in to this mentorship series. We are on Disc 6, and this is Vitality. Track 8, Easy Money is Loud. But before we get into this, I want to give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for giving me another opportunity to come out here and do the 411 podcast. I want to give a very special thank you to all of you out there who have been listening and checking me out. Facebook, thank you all so much for the love and support out there. Spotify, I appreciate y'all. Daily Motion, I appreciate you. Just everybody all over. The best thing that you could possibly do to help support is to please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, text a friend. Most importantly, drop it in the comments and let me know exactly where you are listening from. We are shifting to a different time frame. So, I'm looking for some feedback to let me know what you feel about the new, you know, time zone, time shift. But to just keep things real, it's nighttime now. Even though it might be broadcasting earlier in the day, that's fine. But we still are going to sample wine and enjoy, you know, this good wine down Wednesday. I don't want y'all to think that, you know, we're turning up early in the morning like that. So I just had to keep that on the forefront. It's a little delayed, but it is what it is. You still get the experience here. So, in any case, thank you all so much for tuning in. And when you wake up early in the morning, just tune right into the 411 podcast, Reading Between the Wines, because we're going to be right there. So, let's get into this. Easy Money is Loud. Song of the day, Be Easy by Hot Rod, featuring my girl Mary J. Blige. And this was just a single. I'm not quite sure what happened with Hot Rod, but I don't think that, it popped off the way it was. So his career, I guess, ended just as quick as it started. And speaking of things ending just as quick as it started, sometimes we got to be easy. When we see what other people have, we don't know what their journey is. We don't know what their story is. So a lot of people, when it comes to investing, when it comes to, just wanting to get the bag, sometimes we need to be easy. We can't just jump in and run in and think, that we know what we're doing and understand and know the source. I always say check the facts. Don't just take, advice from anybody. Check the source, check the facts. What do they have going on in their world? For example, and I'm a try to get in and get out. For example, please don't be taking, you know, marriage counseling from somebody who's single. Just doesn't make sense. Don't take financial advice from a broke person. It just doesn't make any sense. So sometimes we need to be easy. You know, I remember a few years ago before I even got into, the whole financial literacy. I remember somebody coming on a 411 podcast and she was so excited about letting me know that she did this big investment in cryptocurrency. Fast forward, I invited her back on maybe, a couple weeks to a month later to come on a Reading Between the Wine show. And she basically let me know that she was scammed and she lost a lot of money. Again, prime example, chasing the bag, the whole cryptocurrency thing, it goes in phases. Right now we have silver that's, in a phase, next month it might be gold. Just please be careful. You got to be easy. You got to do your own due diligence and you don't go out here and, do what you saw somebody do on social media. I'm not even going to get into what happens with the things that people post and DM on social media to try to get you to try to get your money. In some cases, there are some scams. So you have to make sure you do your research, do your own due diligence, people, and please understand and check the facts. Be easy. Track 8, Easy Money is Loud. Song of the Day, Be Easy. Hot Rod, featuring Mary J. Blige. So tonight, I have to tell you that I'm bringing it out. It's cold. It was -3 degrees this morning. So what I like to do during this time frame is I bring my reds out. So I'm sampling Cupcake Vineyards Red Velvet. I picked up the bottle because right now I'm in preparation for my financial wellness strategy session, which is coming up in February. And you know what's happening in February. I got to just be real when it comes to these holidays, but Valentine's Day is coming up. So this bottle sort of like jumped off the shelf at me, and it's Cupcake Vineyards and it's red velvet, and it supports what I'm getting ready to speak about next month with people who need to restore their relationship with money. Some cases people need to restore their relationship with themselves, but that's a whole nother situation. I'm gonna touch base on that a little bit, but it just felt like this was a great way to kick off the financial wellness strategy session that's coming up next month. So I'm sampling this Cupcake Vineyards Red Velvet, and it's 13.5%. And it says, our red velvet is made up of grapes from some of the finest vineyards in California. This rich, silky red blend has notes of cherry, blackberry, and mocha that fill the palate, while hints of vanilla and toasted oak lead to lengthy finish. Enjoy with pan-seared ribeye, bacon cheeseburgers, or s'mores by the fire. So I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of Reading Between the Wines. If you want to find out more information about my financial strategy, excuse me, my financial wellness strategy session, please DM me. You can text me and you can also email me as well. I do have a few spots left. This is a private, exclusive, limited group session, which will be on Instagram. So thank you all so much for joining into another episode of Reading Between the Wines. I want to say cheers. And on that note, I am going to bring in my special guest, author slash poet, Birdman.
Hey,
What?
how you doing?
How you doing? How's everything?
Oh, it's going good.
Well, I would say that it has to be going better than anything that's going on here in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, it's getting cold here, but it's nothing to that we have to bundle up to. Well, some people do. And, like the ones that's from up north that move down here, they don't bundle up as much as the ones that's originally from here.
Mm. Well, I'm going to tell you this. As I'm sipping this wine here, and it just hits the spot because it's super, super, super cold here, and um, -3 degrees this morning. When
Wow.
I was driving home from work, it was about mm, 34 degrees, which was excited at 34 degrees. Now, you wouldn't think that I would be excited about 34 degrees, but after starting off my day with -3, I'll take I'll take the 34.
I heard that.
Now, not to mention that this weekend, I want you to guess how much four-letter word you think that we're going to get. I want you to just guess how much of the four-letter word you think that we're going to get here in the Northeast.
I wouldn't know.
Just throw it out there. Just put a number out there.
Okay, 10.
16.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but something's getting ready to happen. Listen, I'm going to make sure that I have my bottle of wine. Because if it's going down like this, just let it go down. See, people like the four-letter word. I don't like the four-letter word, but if it's going to come, at least make it worth my while I don't have to go out. That's what
I
I
heard
say.
that.
Because I don't want to drive in it. But in any
Yeah.
case, I'm going to get off of my little. Yeah, it's been interesting. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like this time of year.
Yeah, well, the weather was good because we went to the park yesterday, and I got my little walking exercise in, which was cool. I took some pictures. It was, it was gray. It wasn't like them pictures I took Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the beach, and I thought it was gonna be colder because I know we talked and I told you, and then Diana started laughing and she said it's not gonna really be that cold down there, and I'm like, oh, you got me. I said, nah, it made me feel like I'm making up stuff. When we got down there, it wasn't cold at all. Walk Me and her walked out on the beach. I took pictures and videos, which you probably seen some of the pictures on Instagram. I posted a couple of them today, and but yesterday was gray. It was no sunshine,
Hmm.
and but it was all right because we did a little walk, shot some pictures, shot some videos. We sit down like we do on the bench, took some selfies together, and just had a good time.
Okay, so what was the temperature then? Since it wasn't that cold.
It was like 56.
I would take that any day over what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, you know what the only disappointing part was about being at the park yesterday?
What's that?
I didn't get a chance to see the alligator.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother story. You want to see that?
Huh?
You want to see them?
Oh yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Man,
I'm
I
good.
got
No,
I
I'm
got
good.
so many pictures of alligators in different parks, videos. I even got poems that have alligators in them and they're swimming.
Well, that's good that they in the water because you don't want them on land,
Oh
and you
no.
definitely don't want them to come up and creep up on you.
That was, when we walked through the park, that was the thing I was worried about because we was walking around because once before I did that and I was walking and I was getting ready to cross through this little path that had a little stream on it because I was shooting a video and something told me, nah, go back. And so I
Yeah.
turned around and went back and I went on the over across the little bridge they had, and I looked over there and it was a crocodile just laying over there right where I was getting ready to walk through.
No, I'm good. So I
you know, and I'm like, okay, so that's what we was looking around because it's full of bushes, and this alligator ain't not a small. It's not a small alligator. It's a big gator, and
mm-mm.
we didn't know where he was at, and yes, I was kind of worried about. And I'm saying to myself, nah, I know I can't run no more. But you know what? If this gator come out, I'm gonna have to find a way of running.
Okay. So last month I was in Cocoa Beach, okay, and across the street from the resort was this little park, and I was like, "What is that across the street? What is that? I want to see. I want to see." So the last day, me and my daughter we walked over to the park, and before you get ready to go in there, it has this big sign, and it says that this is a national reservation or preservation, whatever it is, to for the wildlife. And as you go in there, this is what you will find. And when I saw a raccoon, I already in my mind said, absolutely not, I'm not going in this park. And then it started naming all of these other things that I couldn't even pronounce, and at least about maybe 15 to 20 different animals that I had no idea, but I did know what a raccoon was. And when I saw that, I said, we're not going in here because it's covered, the trees like cover your head, and you like duck down and go into this little like underpath to get into there. I said,
Yeah.
absolutely not. We won't be doing that. I know that much. So,
Oh man,
yeah,
hey,
we
man,
didn't
they
do
ain't
that.
gonna bother you long. As long you don't mess with them, they ain't gonna bother you, man. We got raccoons running around in the yard.
No, I'm good. I walked past the dumpster and I heard all of this rustling, and I said, and I know exactly what's in there. And note to self, Laren, when you go on your walks and you're walking through the neighborhood, don't walk next to these dumpsters.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, yeah.
so, all right. So, yeah, let's get right on into it. We got a lot
Okay.
to cover tonight, and I'm excited about this show tonight. Give me a number anywhere between 3 to 167. What do we got tonight?
112.
112. So when I was in the midst of trying to get the microphone working, I had ended up knocking over the bottle of wine. Thank goodness it was closed. Knocked over my bottle of water, lost my pen.
Oh man.
But we good now.
Okay.
One 112. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, do you want something that you should do with your money, or do you want something that you shouldn't?
Oh hell. Something that you should do. I'm gonna be
Okay.
positive. Be positive.
Okay. So this is what you should do. Check that your private pension is covered by the PBGC. If you have a pension from a private sector company, you want to make sure that it is, excuse me, let me back up. If you have a pension from a private sector company, you want to make sure that in the unlikely event something happens to that company, like bankruptcy, for example, your pension payments will still be honored. Money that a company sets aside for future pension payouts must be kept separate from its other operations. You can request a summary plan description, which is the acronym SPD, each year to find out whether your pension plan is in good shape or not. You should also check your SPD to confirm that your company is covered by the Federal Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation, which the acronym is PBGC. Most plans are. In the unlikely event your plan can't make good on payments, the PBGC steps in and covers those payments up to some limits. You can learn more visiting pbgc.gov. Interesting. What do you think about pensions? I just learned something new
Uh,
tonight.
hey, pensions. Oh man, I'm not really up on pensions because I didn't have one. And but I know,
Me,
I know people who had them, and it's been beneficial for them. So if you get with a company and if you plan on staying long term, best to find out if they got a pension, because in the long run, if something happens, you have something to fall back on. Yes.
yeah, I do know that a lot of people say that pensions, you got to be careful with your pensions because they can get robbed and all of that good
Yeah.
stuff. And not, it's not good, all of that bad
Right.
stuff, especially during turmoil times. Just like they say, Social Security is not going to be around in the future. They keep saying that. Just as long as I get mine, I'm good. Um, They also say that 401ks and all of those things, you should not rely solely on them. Just like a pension, that should
Yeah.
not be your sole source of income, because just like anything, you want to have multiple streams of income, because if anything goes down, it could be an issue. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why, a little bit that I do know is because when my dad retired from General Motors, and I know that was years ago. That was years ago. And I mean, he survived off of his, but that was different times. I know that was different time because that's when General Motors took care of their employees, whether, once
Mhm.
they retired, they took care of them really, really well.
What you
You
said
know,
right there is so important that it was, you know, a long time ago. And I believe, and again, this is not financial advice, but the powers that be, when they set certain things up, it wasn't to benefit us. So the fact that
yeah,
he was able to survive off of that, and a lot of people were able to survive off of pensions and things like that when they first started, but look how things have changed. In some cases,
yeah,
pensions are no longer available in certain sectors. So it's
yeah,
all done on purpose,
right.
which
Oh
I
yeah,
which I which I believe.
yeah.
Like what you could live off of back then, you most certainly can't do it now.
Oh no, no way, no way. I don't really get want to get too far off, but like I said, when my dad when he bought his first home down here, it was only what 3,200.
Mm,
Now that same house, man, it's like 80,000 now. And
wow.
yeah, the same house.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get into tonight's assignment. I was I should have reached out to you to see if you wanted to go through and read, um but I can read if you don't want to. I didn't ask you ahead of time, so I don't want to put you on the spot. But in any case, I will start to ask you that in case you want to read versus me reading. Um
Yeah, okay. Hey, I am working on a money poem. Since you asked about that, I did right. Well, I gotta get it. I have to get it edited. I'm so used to getting all my stuff edited so that it'll flow and you can understand it. So
Mhm.
once I get it, I should have it by next week for sure.
So we got money by
Yeah.
let me think of the group. Oh darn it. Pink Floyd for inspiration. I'm just, giving you some inspiration as you're
OJ's.
working on it. OJ's, a-
OJ.
absolutely. So you have those two that you can use for inspiration. And I also want to
Yeah.
let you know that I am working on the live version of the 4-1 podcast, Reading Between the Wines, which is coming up in March. So
Okay.
get your poems ready.
Hey man, be honest, I'm always ready. But yeah, this one particular, as a matter of fact, just before I came on here, that's what I was working on. I went back because I always read my poems like 4 or 5 times, and then I send them over there, and Diana she'll go ahead and do her little thing, and then I'll do mine, and then I'm like, okay, it's ready.
Yeah. So y'all get ready because the lineup is gonna be sick. It really is. It's
Oh yeah,
amazing.
I'm always ready.
So all right. So we are going into California. Excuse me. We're not. This 13.5% is hitting already. Um it's been a minute. It's been a minute, y'all. So we here.
Yeah.
Um we going to Aurora, Colorado. And Mr. Brandon from Colorado says, I didn't get into investing to build wealth. I got into it because I felt behind. Everywhere I turned, somebody was talking about stocks, crypto, options, screenshots of gains, stories about turning a few thousands into something life changing. Meanwhile, I was still paying off old debt and trying not to feel embarrassed about it. So I jumped in, no plan, no real understanding, just hope mixed with impatience. If it was investing, I told myself it was investing, but if I'm honest, it felt more like gambling with better marketing. Some days I won, most days I stressed. I checked my phone constantly, couldn't focus at work, couldn't enjoy dinner. Wine nights turned into chart watching sessions. I lost money I couldn't afford to lose. Huh, ladies and gentlemen, that line right there, we could just stop right here. He said, I lost money I couldn't afford to lose. Not enough to ruin me, but enough to shake my confidence, enough to make me feel quiet about it. What bothers me most is how disconnected I became from myself. I wasn't grounded, I wasn't patient, I was chasing relief instead of building stability. Now I'm trying to slow down, pay attention, learn instead of react. How do you know when you're investing from wisdom and when you're just trying to escape from where you are? Brandon, your thoughts, Birdman.
Well, first of all, when what got me, I just sit back and say, everybody, even though they're now aware of it, they do invest in something,
Mm.
and nothing is guaranteed. And he's saying he didn't get into investing to build wealth. But what he got, my question would be, well, why did you get into it? And
Can
then
you?
when he said everywhere I turned, somebody was talking about it. Well, of course, I mean, it's like every day I get emails, people or messages, people asking me about getting the crypto and bitcoins and all that. I just let them know I'm not interested. That's not my thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I I invest my time in the poetry. That's what I invest on. It doesn't cost me a dime. It doesn't cost me a dime. So I just like I couldn't understand his reasoning unless he's just trying to impress. Again, most of these people we talk about is always trying to impress somebody. And when you try to impress somebody instead of trying to really focus on yourself, you're going
Mm.
to always be behind. I used to hear the old folks say, be behind the eight ball.
Wow. I was trying
And
to. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, you go ahead because I was trying to jump in so much. This is a good one. Go ahead.
And he said, he had no plan, no real understanding. I had thought about him in all that. I mean, I've even asked you about it. I've asked several people about investing, and they all come up with the same question, same answer.
What are those answers? What do they say?
Do your research.
Okay.
Do your research. And I mean, even Diana, I've asked her, and she said, "Well, I don't know what you really want to invest in, and the best thing to do is do your research." And I talked to my son Michael. We had this conversation last week, and I told him, I said, "Dude, I'm gonna tell you something, man. First of all, you really don't have no money to invest in anything. And I said, you need to read up on it. I said, because if you just jump off into it because, this person down the street has done it, I said, hey man, I said, you gonna be left behind. And that's what I find out by reading this guy here. He's wrecking his life because his friends, they invested. Some of them. I have friends that invested. But you know what? I don't try to invest in it because investing is not for everybody. Especially, everybody cannot invest into bitcoins or crypto. Because if you can't stand to lose,
Hmm. Can you?
you don't
Mm,
you
mm,
do
mm, mm,
not need to be in there because you're gonna have times when you lose. And
mm.
yes, you're gonna have times when you win. But the biggest thing with a lot of people is they don't like losing. And I learned that at an early age, working with a guy, and he wanted me to invest. He asked me about it. He said, "How would you like to invest something in Nike?" I said, man, I don't have no money. He said, oh, dude, $15. I said, yeah, man, but you know what? This time, I said, I can't even afford $15 to invest. And he looked, and I said, man, I got child support. I got child support, man. I got school loans. I have to pay back. And
Mm,
I just
mm.
wasn't willing to, even invest in that. Couple weeks later, me and him talking, and he said, I said, hey man, you all right? He was like, yeah. So then he told me, he said his dad killed himself because his dad lost a bunch of money.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah. Mm,
And I was like, well, sorry to hear that, man. And I've heard other people say that's what this person, hey, they did that, they killed themselves. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go down that road
mm.
because they lost big. And I tell anybody, hey man, if you ain't willing to lose, hey, investing ain't what you need to get off into. You need to get off into something that, like, and even in music, it's not, you can invest in music. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a long-term thing. But if you stick with it, it will pay off.
Mm.
And that's the thing, man. It's something that you have to stick with and you just have to deal with. And that's
Wow.
all I can say right now until you say something.
Oh, I'm going to give you the quick speed version because I know we got a lot to cover here. So many good points here, and I'm gonna take it to the top. You hit the point, Birdman. You said, "Why did you get into this?" He says, "I didn't get into investing to build wealth." Well, then what for then? And I gotta control my emotions here because this letter is something else. What did you get into it for? That's the first part, and you said that, so we on the same page with that. Everywhere you turn, somebody was talking about stocks, crypto options, and all of those things. So clearly, yes, I like the fact that you're around people who are talking about things that you don't know. Because one thing that you don't want to do is be the smartest person in a room. Take some advice from me because I've been there and done that. You don't win when you're the smartest person in a room. So if people are talking about things that you don't know, such as stock, crypto options, short trading, all of those things, that's a great thing. But continue to listen and learn and try to figure some things out. And just because you don't know does not mean that you jump into something. Like if somebody jumps off the bridge, I'm sure you've heard that. Do you do it too? Like,
Yeah,
do you know the consequences behind it? You did not know what the consequences behind it, and you did not know the full story. So you went and jumped in and started to invest without making sure that you pay off debt. So, for anybody out that is listening, if you are interested in investing, there are steps to it. And the first part that you need to do is make sure that you pay off all your consumer debt. You should not be investing into anything if you are still paying student loans, credit cards, all of these extra things. I'm going to keep it real and just say car notes, even though I know the only type of debt that you possibly should have if you are getting into investing will be your mortgage payment.
yeah,
And that's it. You jumped in, no real plan, no understanding, again, just doing the most, following behind what somebody else is doing because you are comparing your life to somebody else. This is why most people struggle, is because of the comparison thing. Let's talk about social media. You scroll on the gram, you scroll on TikTok, and because of what somebody else has or what somebody else does, you feel that you need to do the same thing. Now, I'm not trying to flex or anything, but I started something back in 2020 called the 411 Podcast and Reading Between the Wines. And I can't tell you how many guests came on my podcast. I invited them on, and next thing you know, they got their own podcast. Now, the bottom line is, where are they at today? Not trying to flex, not trying to front, but just because you see what somebody else has does not mean that you have to do the same exact thing. So if
exactly.
thi- so if this person is investing in crypto and all of these other things, that may not work for you. You might want to invest in ETFs. If this person is investing in ETFs, you might want to invest in the Magnificent Seven. Like, there are so many different aspects. You might want to invest in bonds. You might want to invest in mutual funds. Just because somebody is doing one thing does not mean that you need to go ahead and do a cookie cutter approach. So that's that. And of course, you are going to feel stressed out. Of course, there are some days that you're going to win. What goes up must come down, and what is down is not always going to be down. It will rise back up again. That's the game when you're investing. You are going to win some, just like Fantasia. Sometimes you got to lose to win again. And that's just it. And this part here, I said this whole letter could have been over when you said, I lost money I couldn't afford to lose. Anybody who is interested in getting into this game, if you can't afford to lose it, then don't even invest. Don't even play this game. If you're going to be checking back and forth, looking, acting like, oh my God, that $100 that I put in was due for the rent and now I need it out, don't even do it. When I got into it in the what 2003, I thought I knew what I was doing. I put $1,000 in and I lost about $200 immediately, and I got scared and I cashed out, and guess what that meant? That $200 was gone. And the whole entire time from 2005 until 2020, I said, oh, I just want to learn about investing. Oh, I just want to learn about investing. Oh, I just want to be able to do it. Oh, I just want to be able to do it. Coming from a scarcity mindset, God said, you ain't ready. You're going to have to wait. Oh, you really ready? Okay, let me press this button and shake your whole world up so you can really see what life is really like.
Yeah.
Wow. Sometimes we just not ready to do certain things. From 2005, it took me all the way until 2022 or into 23 to sort of like really understand this game, and I'm still learning.
Yeah,
Wow.
I agree with you on everything you said. You
This
know,
letter, I am
yeah,
done. We ain't seen nothing like this in a minute.
I know that. You know what? It, yeah, but you know what? It sound. And it sound. It just sound okay. This guy here, to me, he just sounds like he's been he. Oh man, how can I put it? I ain't trying to talk bad. I don't like talking bad about nobody, but he didn't study it. He didn't search. He didn't talk to a professional about it. Because if he had talked to a professional, they would have told him, "Hey, if you can lose this, then go ahead. But nothing is guaranteed." And see the way I hear people out here talking about they invest in this, and that, but they don't tell you when they lose. They don't say not one.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
don't tell you one thing about when they lose. I mean, that's like, and I can use. I guess I can use my situation. I have a friend, and we're both like in the music, but we're in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But and he know I invest into it. He invests into it, but we don't try to invest in the same thing that each other's doing. He writes contracts for rappers. Well, I know he did. He watch he write he does that for rappers, local rappers in here in Houston. And like I told him, I was DJing, and then he said, "Oh, okay then," and he knew I wrote poetry, and he said, "Look, man," he said, "we getting ready to get this radio station, and." He said, "We want to have some." He said, "Since you do poetry and we already have our DJs, we want you to do the poetry in." I'm like, "Cool." And well, one of the DJs messed up, and his old lady busted in with somebody else, and she called in, and they hadn't gotten their license. They had a 90-day period, and they was right on the 90 days of getting it, and they just got shut down completely.
Mm.
And the guys, they I didn't know them, but they was doing they were doing other things that I didn't do. But whenever I came around, they wasn't there at the station. So therefore I hadn't when I did get questioned, and they said okay. Then they said, well, we were told that you didn't know what was going on. You just do the poetry in. You can go on about your business. But and see, like I said, I was investing my time, but I wouldn't invest in no money.
Right, right. There's
And, huh?
okay. I was going to say there are several. It's not always about the money. I know you mentioned that, which is a good point, and thank you for bringing that up. It is not always about the money, and this prime example here with Brandon here tonight is a prime example of him just focusing on the money and not focusing on knowledge, wisdom, seeking out people who know more than he does. He was in rooms with people who spoke about crypto options, uh, those types of things, but you didn't walk through the door.
Right,
Maybe you were just looking from the outside, or you were just in the doorway, but you didn't step in. So it's not always about the financial aspect about it. It's also about the time. Time is more valuable than money. What are you doing with your time? What are you doing to learn to get to the next level? So you are absolutely right when it comes to anything that you do, like from musician, or you studying when it comes to podcasting, so many different things, investing,
right.
like, you have to do more than it's more than just the financial aspect. So I agree with that.
And see,
Now,
and the thing when he said every time he turned around, he hearing somebody. He's hearing people talk. So that got him hyped up that he can make thousands and thousands and thousands. But then he said he didn't do it to get wealthy. So again, well, that's the part that really twisted my mind. And I'm like, you can't listen to what other people do, because that's just like you, myself, and a few others. We can sit around and we can talk, and we can all talk about what we do. Yes, you do the podcasting because you know what you're doing. This is what you want to do, and I wouldn't be able to start a podcast unless I really studied up on it and looked into it. And Jetman and I'll leave there and I'm gonna start me a podcast, because Laren started one. It's simple. No, it's more to it. A lot of people don't realize that it's more to it than what they think. And I just, like I said, man, to me, the guy just he's just out there, and he's just trying to impress people. And for what reason? Hey,
we don't know.
he probably don't even know, because he told me if he feel like he's been left behind. Left behind what?
Yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. So I think we gave Brandon a eye opener situation here today. So
I don't.
he
I don't.
well,
I don't.
listen, we might need to do part two on
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
I don't. I mean, because he'll still say, "Well, I don't get it," you
Well,
know. And it's so many. You know what? And it's a lot of these youngsters. It's the youngsters that get me. That I said, man, you need to quit watching these videos and stay off the internet so much. You seeing all this, man, you just don't realize that's fake stuff what you're looking at.
mm, mhm.
And then again, do you really want to walk around bling blinging? Because hey, man, it's a whole lot of people laying in the bushes for you to walk right on by so they can stick you up.
Mm,
you know. So hey, you gotta be careful for what you ask for.
because you just might get it.
You might just get it. And then when you get it, you're gonna say, "Oh man, this ain't what I wanted."
Mhm. That's
So
one of the commandments. You should not covet, and we be sitting. Some of us be looking what somebody else has, and then we be wanting it. And
yeah,
okay, all right, you gonna get it. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when they get it, they be sitting back and they be like, "Man, what did I do?"
hmm. All right, we are. That's going to be a wrap for Mr. Brandon here. We are up against the clock, so if you can
Yeah.
just go ahead and let us know what you got going on in your neck of the woods this week.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tomorrow night I'm doing it's a once a month reading called Journal of Expressive Writing. There's open mic. I signed up for it. I'm doing that. And then right after that, LA Poetry Society is they're starting a new program on Thursdays. The last I think it's the last Thursdays in each month. Well, I'm one of the feature readers for that, and that's what you come and see. Let me get, yeah, that's tomorrow evening, and it'll be six. It will be 8 o'clock my time, which will be 9 o'clock your time.
Okay, okay.
Because it's on Instagram. They sent me a flyer, and I'm on there. What I think is five other poets,
Oh,
and we're actually the features, and then after that they're gonna have open mic. Saturday, I can't think of anything I'm doing. Saturday and Sunday, it's nothing that I'm doing. So,
okay. Well,
oh, I know what I am. I am working. I'm still. I'm in the process of working on my next book for sure. And there's some videos that I've been saying this, and I just been lazy. I just been lazy. But there's a couple new videos that I want to go ahead and work with. So that's basically what I'm gonna be doing the rest of the week.
well, send me that link for that Instagram thing because I will check it out tomorrow.
Oh,
I
the
would appreciate
flyer!
that.
You got the flyer. I sent the
Yeah.
flyer, and in the link. The link is up in the left hand corner.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
and then like I said, you can find my books at Amazon.com on the Birdman 313. I'm on like Instagram, Birdman 31355, YouTube, author poet Birdman 31355. I just mail okay, and I just mail my books off. It's called the Writers League of Texas, and they was contacting all authors who published a book last year to be in I guess you can say a contest.
Mm-hmm.
And so my book is up for an award. So
Okay.
you know I'm just like, what, I tell people that if I do, if I don't, I don't. I know that my book was there and others seen it.
That's what's up.
That's
Yeah.
just me, man. That's just me. I'm not one who just be clouting over fame like that. That's not me. I've learned a long time ago it's not worth it. And like I said, if my book comes number one, two, three, four, five, it's fine. If my book come in number 109, 99, 98, 97, that's fine. But I
Mm-hmm.
just know that it's out there and people have seen it, and I know somebody will spread the word.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate you for coming through. We have to get out of here so we can
yeah.
hit our benchmark. So I will talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay. Hey, will
And
this be on in the morning?
not tomorrow morning, but it will be on one of the mornings.
Okay, because
Not
my
tomorrow
son,
morning.
yeah, my son was asking me about it. He called me. He called me too earlier today while I was exercising. He said, "Hey,
Well,
Dad, y'all on today?"
we
And I
got
told
one
him,
that
"Yeah, huh,
we got one that aired this morning, so he can go check out that one.
uh-huh, okay,
So yeah, new episode dropped this morning.
oh, okay,
So
okay,
yeah, it's out there already. So yeah, he can listen to that. It'll be a little delayed reaction, but the new episode has been released. So this one will be released at a future date. So
okay." Well,
yeah.
kind of let me know so I can tell him because he really he's following me, and I think I'm helping him with a lot of his issues that he have, and I noticed that this here has been helping him out a lot.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, we gotta run jet so we can pay our bills. And
Oh
all right,
yeah,
so I will talk to you.
yeah. Take care.
Okay, take care. Good night.
Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you. We have to get out of here. This has been another episode of Reading Between the Wines. Track 8, Easy Money is Loud. Please join us in next week. I will talk to you and see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.